Welcome everybody to the Greensboro Chamber's September Coffee and Conversation. It is, we are on the cusp of fall. On my morning walks, I've even seen leaves falling from the trees, and I'm thinking, wow, it is upon us. And after last weekend's beautiful weather, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it, and I hope you are too. It's a wonderful time of the year. It's also a wonderful time of the year to celebrate our small businesses. And in fact, next week is the U.S. Small Business Administration's National Small Business Week celebration. And this year, and rightfully so, I think, we're going to be celebrating resilience and renewal. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate focus for small business celebrations than obviously being resilient and, looking at renewal. So very exciting. And we thought, why don't we just kick off Coffee and Conversation? And that whole week coming up next week, using the celebration to really just start focusing on our own small businesses in Greensboro and our greater community again. I do want to thank our sponsor for our Coffee and Conversations for 2021, Cone Health. And today, I'm so excited we have Michelle Schneider with us. She is the Chief Philanthropy Officer for Cone Health, and actually was like the key connector last year. And she's gonna, I'm sure, tell us about Cone Health and their commitment to celebrating small businesses and working with them as well. So Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks so much. I wanted to start by asking a couple of questions for you just to think about. So first, I'm curious about who is an essential worker? We hear that term a lot. And what is an essential service? So I'll just put that out there for a minute.
All right. Anybody want to take that on?
So what I'm going to tell you is we know that frontline workers are essential. We know that teachers have been considered essential workers more now than ever. Certainly in healthcare, we feel recognized as essential workers. But I would tell you this pandemic has challenged us to really redefine what it means to be essential. And I will tell you with my full heart at Cone Health, we've been thinking about that every single day. So I want to thank you all for being essential workers, for being here through what we've all been through and are going through and hopefully are almost done with. And I want to thank you because what you do every day makes it possible for us to do what we do. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So Deborah said, I'm Michelle Schneider. I'm the Chief Philanthropy Officer at Cone Health. I've been in the fundraising business for about 30 years, and I will tell you this last year has helped me completely rethink what it means to be philanthropic, what it means to be a giver, and what it means to be a receiver. Because there were days in this pandemic that money couldn't fix anything. You could have had all the money in the world, and you still had the problems. And so that was a really different, it used to be like if you just threw money at it, you could fix it. And that was not the case. And so what we've learned is that our small businesses are really critical. We knew that, but it was just a really great reminder, just like I believe everything in this pandemic has been serving to remind us of what's important and what we need to focus on. So I was thinking about this idea of essential workers as I came in this morning, and I tried to just pay attention. What does that look like? And so I'll give you some specific examples. So when I'm in my office every day, there's a fantastic local business that cleans our spaces, and they not only clean it, but they make it safe, right? And they make it physically safe. But I will tell you, the guys that come in every day, they make me feel safe. We've been here late and long hours, and they make sure we're okay, and they make sure they go way beyond cleaning our office. The shirt that I'm wearing, you all can see I have a logo. It's important for us that people know who we are. And so we wear branded clothing, not to just to share the brand, but to communicate with people that we're here and if you need help. Our uniform colors mean something. So this logo was put on at a small business at Gate City Shopping Center. I mean, I literally took it there and they put it on. We needed a lot of printing over COVID. We printed the circles that you stand on, and we printed the vaccine brochure. I mean, we were throwing stuff around by the minute. And I think probably every printer in town did something for us at some point. Getting that vaccine information out was not easy. We needed lots of different things. We cater meals for our teammates every single day, whether that's a food truck that goes to Moses Cone or a catering company that brings it into the office. It's every day that's happening. And then one story in particular, we needed masks, and we needed lots of masks. And you may have heard this story, but it was a doctor and a friend and they came up with the mask. But what I want you to know is not did they make masks for us during COVID, which they did, but they are now a new local business. North Carolina Masks, it's an LLC, they are a permanent vendor of Cone Health. So this is like one of those silver linings that we thank the community for every single day. So I just wanted to just say thank you. Thank you for being essential. If you haven't felt that way, please know that we feel that you are. Thank you for helping us recruit and retain the best team. It's something we work at every single day. We talk about being valued. We talk about being indispensable, and your work is really a part of that. You help us provide care. You help us be innovative, be creative. You've helped us respond to this pandemic in a different way. And most importantly, you're helping us keep our community safe and well. So before I close out, I have to remind you all, the vaccines are how we get through this. So if I can help your business in any way, please let me know, and we'll do our best to make that available to you and your team. On behalf of the 12,000 plus employees, thank you very, very much. And I would just add a personal note for those of you who I don't know. My husband and I have been small business owners for a long time. And so I just reach out to you personally and say, I appreciate what you've been going through, what you continue to go through. We are on that journey with you. And so if there's anything we can do on a personal level, please let me know that as well. So thanks for letting us be the sponsor. Thanks for letting us be a part of the conversation this morning. And thanks for being our partner.
Thank you, Michelle. And let me just say, please extend our thanks to everyone at Cone Health for helping to care for our community, helping to protect our community, and for all that you're doing. We cannot imagine how hard it is to be, a healthcare provider on the front lines of this pandemic, day in and day out. And we just appreciate you all so much. So thank you. I also want to thank our Circle of Champions partners. We have these wonderful partners who support programming like Coffee and Conversation and other programs throughout the entire year. And at the platinum level, we have a Legacy Federal Credit Union, Cone Health, Lincoln Financial Group, Truist, Truliant Federal Credit Union, and VF Corporation. Our gold Circle of Champions partner is Novant Health. And at the silver level, we have Kelly Office Solutions, Ralph Lauren, Staunton Capital, and Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. So we are so thankful for them and all that they do to help provide the support to the chamber to be able to offer programming to our community. Holly has placed in the chat our digital drawing. You can text the word PERK, all uppercase, PERK, to 55678. Fill out that registration, and we will have a prize, a $25 gift certificate from a local restaurant, a Greensboro restaurant. So please participate in that if you would like. And at this time, I am going to turn things over to Tracy Myers, who's our Executive Vice President of Member Engagement. Tracy.
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning, everybody. Every year, We always cancel our coffee and conversation for August in light of our State of Our Community event. And I tell you, it feels like it's been a while since I've seen a lot of your faces because we didn't have our August coffee and conversation. As we start to plan our programming for 2022, one of the things we've loved about coffee and conversations in this move to digital has been getting to see some of the faces that we don't often get to see at that event, because a lot of our folks are already in the office on those mornings. So it's been fun to see you guys, and it's good to see you again here in September. So welcome. I'm going to give a couple of brief updates before we move to the next portion of this morning, but just wanted to throw a few things out there as we move into Small Business Week next week. Earlier in the year, we hosted a coffee and conversation where we really talked about the Chamber's efforts around small businesses. We knew going into this year and as we exited 2020 that small businesses were a great focus for us, as they have been for our entire history. Our small businesses are really the heart of our community, and we wanted to do everything that we can, and we want to be there to support all of you always. And so Marvin Price, who's our EVP of Economic Development, and Lou Ann Flanders Steck, who's our EVP of Launch Greensboro, and I shared some of those programs that are available, and you can find all of those on our Chamber website at any point in time. But a couple of things that we've done since then, we did put out a neighborhood small business needs assessment, and that actually went out to the entire small business community, whether they were members of the Chamber, whether they were not members of the Chamber. We wanted to gather input from small businesses on what those needs are. And the very top need that came back to us was around an increased marketing and awareness. So we had a lot of folks reach out to us about how they could put more marketing out there, and just asked us as a Chamber to continue to promote them in the community. And so we've done that in multiple ways. We had a billboard campaign earlier this year. So we had a lot of small business billboards that popped up through some of our partnerships. And we actually used images and actual small businesses from our community in that campaign. We've worked together with Go Greensboro to produce a set of commercials that have aired over the last several weekends and included a lot of our small businesses, and just that reminder for folks to get out. And as we approach the holidays, which seems a little crazy to talk about, but we're already planning that, we're going to be doing holiday highlights again this year. And so we're going to partner up with a couple of other agencies throughout the city to really put out holiday messages. So if you have holiday offers, or you know that you're going to want to be included, even if you don't know what they are yet, let us know. Reach out to our team so that we can go ahead and put you on that list for outreach. So those are just some of the things that we have going on, in addition to all of our programming that we put on a regular basis. Holly's popped the link to those small business spotlight series on YouTube in the chat, so definitely check those out. As we move into Small Business Week, Deborah hinted that the National Small Business Week is September 13th through 15th. And I wanted to make sure everybody is aware of what the SBA is doing over the next week. So next week, SCORE and the SBA are co-sponsoring the National Small Business Week Virtual Summit. And so this event is going to feature 3 days of 20 educational sessions, networking, and small business resources. And this is completely free. So definitely take advantage of that. We're going to put a link up in the chat in a moment. Some of the sessions that they are putting out there, one is going to be Life After COVID. It's a fireside chat. They're going to have folks from the SBA as well as restaurateur and World Central Kitchen chef Jose Andres. They're going to focus their conversation on building back better, helping Main Street and small businesses chart a path out of the pandemic through resiliency and prepare for a brighter future. There's one around the must-knows of wage and hour requirements and IRS small business resources. There is a session around access to capital for women entrepreneurs. And there is unlocking the door to access for Black-owned businesses, funders, and founders. They're going to have folks share their real-life stories to hear how they've unlocked access and what it truly takes to unlock and walk through that door. And they're also going to have some sessions around veteran and military small businesses. So definitely check out those resources. I want to actually play for you. This is the tricky part, so we'll see how sharing the screen goes. The video from the Small Business Administration.
Your sound isn't working, Tracy.
Okay, Holly, you said you can't hear it.
No, make sure you, when you share, make sure you hit share sound as well.
Okay, let me see. Share. There we go. I see them. One more time.
I'm Isabel Guzman, the SBA administrator and the voice for America's 30 million small businesses and innovative startups. It's my pleasure to announce the U.S. Small Business Administration's annual National Small Business Week Summit. Join us September 13th through 15th for a virtual celebration as we honor and celebrate the incredible grit, determination, ingenuity, and creativity of our nation's small businesses. This year, we'll be spotlighting the resilience of our nation's entrepreneurs and the renewal of our small business economy as we build back better. The COVID pandemic has taught us that connection is key to resilience. We know now more than ever that our networks make us stronger. At National Small Business Week, we will get together to connect you to SBA's products and services to help start and grow your business, build resilience, support and retain employees, enter new markets, and more. Visit sba.gov/NSBW today to find out more and register. See you in September.
Okay, so everybody saw it and heard it. Yes, okay. So definitely take advantage. I will pop up that link to register for free in just a few moments. So how are we going to be celebrating here at the Chamber next week? We had hosted our Small Business Awards in April. And when we did that, we made a Do you guys hear that? Okay, I do too. Not sure where that came from. Oh, hold on. I think that's me still running my sound through my YouTube. All right, so back to our portion. Sorry, guys. So we are going to be sharing on social media and re-celebrating all of our winners of our Small Business Awards from April. And so I want to remind everybody of who those winners are, and just keep an eye on our social media over the next week, as you'll be seeing spotlights on each of them again. So going into our 2021 Small Business Awards, we changed our categories a bit to align with things that have been going on over the past several years, and especially with COVID. So we had some new categories. This year, our culture creator was Shay Janez, and we celebrated them and the work that they have done to create a culture that is inviting and inclusive for their employees, but also for our community at large. We also had an award for community contributor, and that is for a small business or a nonprofit agency that really works to create a sense of community and grow our community for small businesses in Greensboro. And that award was given to Downtown Greensboro, Inc. Our Pivot Pro Award that really went to a business who had adjusted to the pandemic went to Out of the Garden Project. Our Goal Setter Award, which is awarded to a company that supports our minority business accelerator companies and gives them resources and access, that was given to HACO. And then this year we did a People's Choice Award, and that was actually voted on by our entire membership and was placed online. And that went to the Greensboro Science Center. And I think there were a few of us that got to visit the Science Center last night and see some of the 12-acre expansion that they have recently done. If you've not been out there lately, you'll see some construction that's going on now for an additional 12 acres. And then our small business of the year went to United Maintenance Group. And so we are going to hear from Danny Brown with United Maintenance Group and all of the great things that have been going on there since the award and through a partnership that we had with Spectrum. And so I'm now going to turn it over to Nikita Green and Danny Brown.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I am Nikita, and I have the privilege, as a part of what I do here at the Chamber, I have the privilege of working with Accelerate Greensboro and the portfolio companies in Accelerate Greensboro. So I'm happy to introduce to you the 2021 Small Business of the Year owner, Mr. Danny Brown. Danny founded United Maintenance Group in 1990. It is an employer-based small business. It's a full-service licensed contractor. United Maintenance has performed significant federal, state, and local projects over the years. Those projects include those for the Greensboro Housing Authority, the City of Greensboro, Guilford County Schools, Alamance County Schools, Bennett College, and FEMA, just to name a few. If you have had the privilege of getting to know Danny or having worked with him, you know that Danny happens to also be a very humble guy and very charitable. And I personally think it shows up in how he approaches his business, how he runs his business, and how he treats his customers. Danny has been a portfolio company in Accelerate Greensboro since 2017. In addition to being selected as our Small Business of the Year for 2021, Danny was also selected by Spectrum Reach as one of the first recipients nationwide of the Pay It Forward grant. As a part of this grant, Danny received marketing and advertising valued at $15,000. This service includes a fully produced commercial. I am very excited to pitch to Tracy really quickly to share with you Danny's commercial that I hope that you will all not only get to see here, but also on Spectrum.
From concept to completion, rely on United Maintenance Group for construction, repairs, and restoration. Commercial or residential, we make it easy for you to get the job done. From precision site work to water plant installation and maintenance, a new driveway, or durable and elegant lighting schemes. Whatever the job, depend on United Maintenance Group. 2021's Small Business of the Year can make your big ideas a reality. United Maintenance Group, 336-669-1648.
Thank you, Tracy. So hopefully, like I said, you'll get to see that over and over again. But as small business owners, those of you who are here who are small business owners, you know how important that type of grant can be, how significant a marketing and advertising support can really be to your business. So I'm excited. And I couldn't think of a better person to win Small Business of the Year and the Pay It Forward grant. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Danny Brown. And Danny, I know that you are a native North Carolinian. You are from down east, and you came up here to the big city of Greensboro to go to UNCG. But after leaving UNCG, at some point you decided you wanted to start your own business and be an entrepreneur. Can you tell us, start by telling us what made you start United Maintenance Group?
Well, first, I'd like to thank Nikita for sharing that commercial with everyone. Every time I see it, it just makes me think about my mom and my dad. Both of them are in heaven now, and they hadn't seen this, but they see it through my eyes. And so it gives me chills to just think that a small town guy has a commercial that the world is getting to see now. But what actually got me started with my business, I was actually working for a company, and there's a guy here in town, I won't call his name, worked for him up until 1990, started when I was in college. And one day he came to me, I was his upper level management guy, and he came to me and he said, I need you to get rid of one of your employees. My wife wants to buy a new RV. And so I looked at the guy and I said, you want me to fire someone so you can buy a new RV? And he was like, yes. And this is the conversation we had. And I told him, I said, well, rather than me fire someone, I would give you my resignation. And that's how I started my business. And I called my pops at the time, he was still living, and I told him what happened. And he said, son, I'm glad that you realized what was going on, and that your employees at this time were more important to you than the check that you were bringing. Because at the time I was making about $6,000 a month, and I was probably in my mid-20s. And so, I did it, and I prayed about it, and my company vision came to me in a dream, and I hadn't looked back since.
I love that story. And I think it says everything that if anybody knows you, they know about you, that's you care about what you do. This is not just work for you. So would you say, I was reading an article recently, Danny, and on McKinsey, and it described, characterized small businesses as being nimble and resilient, that is an advantage to working with small businesses. So as a small business owner, what would you say is your special competitive advantage over other people in your industry?
Me personally, I take every job as if it's my last job. And I tell people you're only as good as the employees that you got working for you. And when you start a business, that business is your dream. It's not your employee's dream. And what you have to do is you have to get your employees to see the big picture, just not the everyday coming to work and they doing this repetitive motion and so forth. You have to get your employees to buy into the complete vision from beginning to the end. And that's what it's about, because when you're not around, guess what? Your employees represent you. And, it makes me feel good that when I can send my guys to a job site like today, I'm not with them. And I know they're out there doing the stuff as if I was right there with them, but it makes you feel good when a client calls you and say, you know what? You got some of the most respectable men that I ever seen on a job site. And that, to me, is when I know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And, to be honest with you, when you're a small business owner and you want to create that niche, and I tell people all the time, I say my niche is that I'm at a position now in this construction business to where I can take a big job at the size of my company and do that big job, and I can also take a small job and do that job and not miss a beat. And a lot of companies, if you're small, you can't take on the big job. And if you're a big company, the big companies don't want to take on the small jobs. And so that's my competitive niche, that I can move either way, and I feel good being in that spot.
Yeah. Well, it kind of puts a point on really what McKinsey said too. It sounds like your business is agile and you're able to move from big to large projects. So what you kind of talked about some of the things that make you proud, just even in that response as a business owner. What has been one of your biggest wins in your business?
My biggest win that I can think about, I had a lot of them. All of them been big wins, trust me. They all been first. But the biggest one that most definitely sticks in my mind is when Hurricane Katrina hit down in New Orleans, and we got an opportunity to go down And there was a lady, most of you on the call know Miss Andrina Harris, that she was with the Institute down in Durham. I had spoke with her previous, but we really didn't know each other. And so I went down to Louisiana, and I started working with the Small Business Administration down in Louisiana. And the guy's name was Leon. He was the head of the Small Business Administration office there on Canal Street. And we started talking, and he asked me, what I was there to do. And I said, look, I'm here to gain some valuable experience with FEMA. And he said, okay, I like your attitude, young man. You from North Carolina. So, well, they called us the Carolina guys. And he said, I'm going to put you to work. My first job, believe it or not, with Hurricane Katrina, was going around picking up aerosol cans. And I thought to myself, I said, this guy got to be joking. He want me to ride around all these streets and find a aerosol can. And he was like, yeah, and I did. And he said, I wanted to see if you really wanted to help. And my second job, I ain't gonna tell you what that, it was way better than picking up aerosol cans, but, and again, that job paid well. But, he did it to see, because you got an influx of people that's coming into your community, and everybody's saying they want to do this and want to do that. But it was a humbling moment to me to look back at it now, and we still friends today. He's actually in DC. And so we talk, at least 3 times a year. But, sometimes as a business owner, you have to humble yourself. That's the point I'm trying to make. And, you don't claim to be the smartest guy and the brightest guy, because trust me, sometimes your employees are way smarter than you. So what we do is we have toolbox talks, and I talk to my employees and I say, listen, bring something to the table. I mean, you got just as much skin in this game as I do. Let's talk about this thing. And when you give them something that they can be proud of, and they feel part of the team, that's what it's about. Instead of you being the boss and they're the employees. Now, I'm not friends with any of my employees. Let's keep that part of it straight. You can't be friends, but there's that fine line that you can get on, and you can ride it between your employees and yourself, to where they bring something to the table and you let them know that, hey, that what they're bringing to the table, you actually listen to what they're saying, their concerns and so forth. And it's part of building that teamwork.
You mentioned, Danny, that that you have to humble yourself, and like I said, I definitely think you're an example of humility, and I am inspired by a lot of the work that you do to give back to the community and to other business owners. And I won't out you. I won't talk about those things, because I know you like to, you do like to be humble. But I am glad that you have gotten the well-deserved attention that you have this year, between being the Small Business of the Year, one of the first recipients of the Spectrum Reach Grant, having this commercial that's airing. I am excited that you're getting the attention that I definitely think you deserve. There may be other small businesses who are struggling with that, feeling like they're not getting that visibility that they feel like they need. Is there some advice that you could give to other small businesses that are in that place?
Yes, sure. My advice is, get involved in community activities. And I'm not just talking about your local church. Get involved in the school in your community. And you don't have to have a child at the school in order to get involved in that school. I got involved in the PTA over at Faulkner World School. I became a GCS volunteer, where I went out and actually talked to young kids at various schools. I got involved in the Community Foundation. I got involved, of course, with the Chamber, which I wasn't before. And, to me, getting out there, getting involved in your community, go to the school board meetings. Just don't, sit back and be one of those folk that say, well, I don't have anything to offer. You really do. Get involved in the city council. And I mean, your community is your community. And if you're not involved in your community, and I tell people, I don't believe in the east side, west side scenario. there is only one side, and that's the human side. And in order for us to keep living as a human race, we all are going to have to come together. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And community involvement is what it's really about, because if you're going to live here, you have to take ownership of your community. And you might have something that you want to say, or it might be a solution to something, but if you aren't involved, nobody will never know. And, you know, you'd be surprised that some of the best answers come from those people that typically don't say anything. And, you know, we got a nice cross spectrum of the community on this call. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of the folk on the call do involvement work in their community, but that's where it starts, in your community. Church is good, but that community involvement is better, because you're outside of the church.
Yeah. Great advice, Danny, for sure. And I think it's a perfect way to end this segment, is some wisdom from an experienced and successful business owner. Thank you so much for what you do for our community. Thank you for what you contribute to our accelerator. And congratulations on, like I said, some very well-deserved recognition this year.
Well, thank you. And I couldn't have done it without, you know, Nikita Green, Tracy Myers, and then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Miss Susan Holland with Spectrum Reach. She was the driving force behind it, and I wish she was on the call, but Susan is one of those genuine people that you just think that aren't in the world anymore. I mean, just downright genuine, and would go beyond to help someone. And like I said, if you don't take anything away from this, get with Tracy Myers and Nikita and talk to them, and get with Miss Susan Holland, which you can reach her through these two people with the chamber. And I'm telling you, your life will change, because Susan has put me, I forgot if I can. She did a segment with the guy from Shark Tank, Damon John. And that's going to be an ongoing thing that I'm going to get to talk with him, along with a couple other people across the country that did receive this award. And, you know, he talks retail. He's not a construction guy, which I think I'm the only construction guy in this thing. And but I'm gaining valuable information just from listening to those people across the country about, you know, the different things that they're doing in their business. So I won't take any more time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Danny. Tracy, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Nikita, and thank you, Danny. Danny, you're one of those people, when that number pops up on the cell phone, I just smile and I can't wait to talk. You're one of the most genuine people I think I have ever met, and we just adore you here. And we were so excited that you won Small Business of the Year. We don't get to vote, we just get to watch the votes come in. And so there was some excitement as we watched those votes coming in. And then when the call came from Spectrum, we were just over the moon at that opportunity to put you out there, because we genuinely just adore you and what you do in the community and what you do with your business. So we can never say enough. But thank you for being here with us today and for sharing. We are going to move into our networking portion of the morning. But before we do that, I just want to thank everyone again. Thank you, Michelle, and for Cone Health for sponsoring our entire series of Coffee and Conversation this year. It has been a wonderful, wonderful partnership, and we thank you for that. We thank our Circle of Champions again. And we also want to share a special thank you today. So over the last month and a half, we have rolled out the Chamber's Pay It Forward Fund. And this is a fund that we have established in our foundation where businesses and individuals can make donations into that fund, and we use that to pay the memberships forward for some of our members who are facing hardships, major financial hardships, due to the pandemic, and this will be ongoing, the pandemic is definitely not a one-off. The chamber sees ourselves as being essential in the community, especially in the small business community. So this is a fund that will run indefinitely. And so we have a couple of folks who have joined that in this last month. And so one of the perks of being a donor into that fund is that we share those names at each of our coffee and conversations. So we want to welcome 2 new corporations into the Pay It Forward Fund, CCL, which has joined us at the ally level, and Banknote Corporation, which has joined us at the leader level. To date, this has been running for about a month and a half, and we have received enough funds to pay the memberships forward of 10 small businesses. And so that has been well received, and we are looking forward to making announcements soon to those folks. So we're going to also remind you of the digital drawing. So remember to text PERK to 55678 to get entered in to win a $25 gift card to a local Greensboro restaurant. We'll announce that shortly. And then we're going to move into our networking. So as we move into networking, there is one more thing that I would like to do this morning. We unfortunately saw the passing of one of our chamber ambassadors just a few short weeks ago. And I know that there are a lot of folks on this call who were very close with Greg Wright. And so I would like to take a moment of silence this morning in memory of Greg, who would have been with us today for sure. Thank you for that. So we're going to move into the networking, which is one of his favorite parts of this day. And so I'm going to ask folks to come off or come on video. So turn your videos back on. This is your opportunity to share 30-second snippet of your business. If there's anything you want to share with folks, tell us who you are. Tell us what's going on in your business, and take that opportunity to put that out there. So you can either use the raise hand feature, you can throw us a message in the chat, or you can just go off mute and start talking. That's been working lately as well. So who is going to go first today? Sandra Kay's got her hand up. Thank you, Sandra Kay.
You're welcome. Hi. Woo, excuse me, haven't talked much this morning. I'm Sandra K. Reynolds, and my company is SK Reynolds Leadership Development. I am so excited that you guys have asked me on Monday to be the spotlight business for the Member Engagement Monday. And because you are focusing on marketing, my topic for that is the power of testimonials and how to use testimonials for effective marketing. So I really hope that everybody will join me and the chamber. I know that you guys can put the link for that, to register for that on in the chat. So thank you for that. Also, I have a regular monthly webinar series. It's a free webinar series. It's called The Second Tuesday at 2. That is obviously coming up Tuesday, the 14th. The topic of this webinar is Become a Master of Hiring. Right now, with everyone trying to find employees for your businesses and looking for the right candidates and making the right fit for your business, I felt like this would be a great opportunity to give you some tips on how to hire effectively for your business. So I'm going to put the link for that into the chat if you'd like to register for that. If you cannot make it live Tuesday at 2, if you have something else going on, please go ahead and register, because you will receive the video playback of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandra Kay. Definitely timely topic with hiring. And also, we'll get that link up in the chat for Member Engagement Monday. So that is coming up on Monday from 4 to 5, and that is virtual, and that is a member-only event that we host once a month. So definitely join us for that. Who is next this morning?
I can go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So Brad Guile with Cmit Solutions. I know a few of you guys on the call. So we are an IT services company here in Greensboro. We do IT work for small businesses. Main focus is on security. with ransomware attacks at an all-time high. I think we're up 380% this year over last year. Big focus on our business is keeping customers secure and keeping businesses backed up in case of ransomware attack or a flood or some fire or any other type of disaster that can happen.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And it's nice to meet you virtually. I think
Yeah,
I'll
you too.
get to meet you in a couple of weeks in person.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. My name's Deborah Branch. I put my information in the chat. I'm the new referral relationship manager for Mind Path Care Centers. We're an outpatient behavioral and mental health care company, and we have over 30 locations in North and South Carolina, and we're now expanding into Texas and Florida. I'm just new to the company and just wanted to say hello and introduce myself to the group. Please reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you, Deborah. Welcome. We do have an update from Michelle or from Jill. So Jill is having home repairs with home health. So she couldn't say it out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud because this is a great one and one that I've been part of for several years. The women's only 5K virtual walk and run is occurring from September 25th to October the 2nd. So that's a great chance for businesses to form teams and raise money for breast cancer screening and support. And that registration link is in the chat as well. So definitely check that out. That's a fantastic event for a wonderful cause in our community. So that is out there. Who else?
Hi, everyone. My name is Thalia Goddard. I am not a small business owner, but I'm representing Teach for America as a frontline fundraiser for the Triangle Triad area. I just wanted to pop in this call and just see all the amazing small businesses that are in the area and just to get to know you all and just see what you're doing. To hear the Danny story was really like the best part of my morning. So this was really inspirational and I'm just happy to be a part of this call. I'll drop my email in the chat. Just happy to get to know all of you. So
thank you. Thanks for joining us. All right, who's next? It's quiet this morning.
Hi guys, I can jump on. I'm Sarah Kotelnicki, the marketing director here at Friendly Center in Greensboro. We represent over 30 locally owned businesses here at the shopping center. And they vary from long-term tenants to more temporary and pop-up experiences. And so we're seeing a lot more of that kind of incubator model. And it's really fun to see small business owners try out Friendly Center, learn from it, learn their successes and what really works here in retail and brick and mortar. So to that note, I'll just announce a couple of the retailers that recently opened and what we have down coming soon. Ben's Boys Comfort Foods recently opened. They are actually right above my office. So every day I'm smelling the delicious foods that they have. It's going really well. They started as a food truck out on Green Valley and have since moved into the former Nuke space. So try them out. They are locally owned. The Pink Poppy Shop, also it's a women's boutique carrying clothes all the way from baby up to adult, and they have a wide variety of sizes and gifts. That's also locally owned by a family. And then Spirit Halloween opens today. They will be here through November. And they are in the former Pier 1 space. So if you happen to be interested in Halloween, there is a 20% off coupon on our website. I can add that into the chat if you're a Halloween person. Coming soon to the center is Buff City Soap. It's a locally owned franchise right next to Suntan City. They hand make all of their products and they're plant-based. So that's really a fun one. They open October 7th and have some really fun grand opening plans. Lush Cosmetics will be here just for the holiday. They are a similar kind of plant-based, no animal testing product company, and they will be here October through January. Hickory Farms and See's Candies will be back for holiday. I know that's a popular one. Starbucks is opening in the former Wolfgang Puck location and will have a drive-through. That will be spring 2022. Mario's Pizza, also a locally owned pizza joint, will be opening in spring 2022. And then Santa's Workshop will be back for the holiday season on November 24th. So lots of fun stuff. And then we also have a new specialty leasing manager who works with locally owned small businesses to kind of help provide information about what it takes to do business here at Friendly Center. So if you are a small business in the retail, service, restaurant area and are looking for information on a new location at Friendly Center, I can certainly connect you with him.
Thank you, Sarah. That has probably been, ever since I came to the art installation earlier this year, that has probably been one of the things I've told more people about, is just how many locally owned small businesses start up or are located at Friendly. And so when you go over there and visit now, it's a lot of fun to see all of those local businesses. So definitely go check those out. It's exciting to hear how many are coming too. It's good. It's exciting. Who wants to go next? Tom.
Hey, good morning, Tom. Vacations. The travel business is coming back. People are suffering from cabin fever and looking for somewhere to go. So we've been helping people travel, whether it's around the US, people traveling to the Caribbean this summer and fall, and even into Europe for land packages and cruises for 2022. So if you're tired of being at home, give me a call. We can help. Tom Polera, Dream Vacations.
Thank you, Tom. All right, who's next?
I'll jump in. Good morning, everybody. This is Danielle Sowell with the American Cancer Society. We also have a breast cancer walk coming up in October. We're planning, still planning for in-person. It is outdoor, and we do have a pretty extensive COVID safety protocol plan in place. Lots of signage and communication and all of that good stuff to keep everybody safe. We normally, for our walk, it's going to be October 16th at Country Park. Normally, we would have a opening ceremony and a set start time, but this year we are doing a rolling start. So we're inviting folks to come out anytime between 8:30 a.m. that day and 12 noon and walk. Our event is a non-competitive 5K walk. We want our breast cancer survivors that feel safe to come out to do so. We'll have some goodies to give away to those that do feel safe coming in person. And then we do have some ways to participate virtually as well. So I will stick our event website into the chat box with my contact information. So reach out if you're interested. Again, we'd love anyone from the community is invited to participate in our walk on October 16th.
Thank you. All right, Holly has let me know that we have our giveaway winner for our $25 gift card to a local restaurant, and that is Thalia Goddard. So see, thank you for joining us today. It pays off to come and visit Coffee and Conversation. So Ainsley will get details from you and get that card out to you. So awesome. Congratulations. A couple of updates from us and announcements that I want to make before we give anybody that last chance. So if you want to share, hold on and get ready. But a couple of announcements from the chamber. Our golf tournament is coming up quickly, September the 20th at Starmount Forest Country Club. And so there's a few spaces left. We're down to the final hole sponsorships available. There's one beverage cart available. As of right now, it might be taken by the time I get off this phone call. And we have a few golfer spots available as well. So get in touch with Ainsley or check that out. I'm sure we'll pop a link up for the golf tournament, but that is September the 20th. And then October 27th is our second annual Impact Leadership Conference. So this is a national level leadership conference focused on emerging leaders and leading managers. That is October 27th. It is all day. And our topic this year is authenticity. So if you were with us last year, we talked about change and disruption. This year coming in, we're talking about how to be your full self and how to be genuine and authentic, especially coming off of a year and a half of a lot of change and disruption. Our keynote speaker is Tunde Oyenane, a personal favorite. She is a powerhouse Peloton instructor, absolutely amazing energy. She also runs a group called Speak Up, where she talks about authenticity, social identity, mental health awareness, and that is all on her Instagram channel. So we're looking forward to having Tunde as well as multiple other speakers on the 27th. So definitely check out Impact and buy your tickets now for that event. Anybody want to go? It's 9:57, last chance if you want to share about your business.
Oh, I have a couple of quick things.
Yeah,
Carol Hart at the Greensboro History Museum. First of all, we do have a little shop here, which has books about Greensboro and locally made products and some branded things with Greensboro. So if you're looking for anything, or if your business produces something made locally that you think might be a good fit for a little shop, that's one thing. Second, we're continue our documentation of how the pandemic and all the things that happened in 2020 has affected our community, including our small businesses. So if you think you have a story to tell of resilience or impact, we would love to hear it. And third of all, we do have an event coming up on October 9th called Spokes and Votes. That's going to be sort of a bicycle tour around Greensboro, harkening back to the history of women in Greensboro. 2020 was a big anniversary year, which we didn't quite get to celebrate. So it's a family-friendly event, bicycling event, and check our website for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol. And thank you all for joining us today. There are a lot of helpful and useful links in the chat today. So before I close the call out, I'm going to give everybody a chance to capture the chat. So if you go down, I think you got 3 little dots that you can click on to save that chat. So I encourage you to do that this morning. If there's anything you heard us talk about that you need more information on, feel free to reach out to any of us here at the Chamber and we can get that information to you. And we hope you have a wonderful day and a great weekend.